Brazen Athletics, Jeff here. It's been a couple of months since that first video we put out this year and this one. For those of you who don't know, my wife and I had a healthy baby girl in between, and that is why you did not get one of these videos at the start of cycle number 2. Going forward, you're gonna get one of these every 6 weeks at the least, with a few videos in between, just to let you know where things are headed here at Brazen Athletics. Let me jump right in. This is mesocycle number 3 within macrocycle number 1. So going forward, we're going to program in these bigger macro cycles, which will include 3 mesocycles. So after this cycle, we're going into macrocycle number 2 after a quick little deload week in between. This cycle, the compound movements we're focusing on during our strength days will be front squats, a little push and pull split, and then full cleans. Monday and Friday there should clearly complement one another. The front squat is really the foundation of the full clean. But then to take that a step further, your front rack strength, your front rack positioning really has a lot to do with how successfully you can dynamically pull yourself into a front squat. Obviously, there are some other factors that we drill in on, but the stronger your front rack position, the better equipped you are to dynamically rack a barbell in it. So that's why we have that push-pull split. And you can view this as an A-B week split. So weeks 1, 3, and 5 will be bench pressing. Weeks 2, 4, and 6 will be hitting some variation of a barbell row, whether it's a Pendlay row, a supinated bent over row. We will be staying focused on that push-pull on Wednesdays. The 3 of these together are intended to increase your overall confidence and comfort in that front squat position, therefore making your full clean a little bit more comfortable and efficient as well. The rest of the week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have these complementary focus points. Now, CrossFit is all about constantly varying movements, time domains, intensities, and these complementary focus points makes it easier for me as the programmer, as well as for our coaches, to translate information to you. So I pick a set of 5 to 6 focal points for a cycle. In this particular cycle, we're adding one more. I'll talk about that. It's core stability. And this gives me the opportunity and the coaches the opportunity to really focus in a given workout and what we want you to understand. Each one of these things will have a trickle up effect to the compound movements. And the great thing about these broad categories of fitness and training is that they can come with us from cycle to cycle. I can pull, or I can give you a new one and take one away if a cycle calls for it. But let me dive in so you know what I mean. We have mixed modal. Mixed modal is basic CrossFit, right? Mixed modal is a combination of weightlifting, gymnastics, and monostructural work. For example, dumbbell cleans, pull-ups, and double unders, right? That is a mixed modal workout. And then from there, I can vary the intensity, I can vary the time worked, I can vary the load, etc., to give you a different experience from week to week. But let's jump right over. We also have CrossFit Feel. What's the difference between mixed modal and CrossFit Feel? Quite frankly, just intensity. A workout that is going to fall in this CrossFit Feel category is going to lead you feeling like you just did one of the prototypical CrossFit workouts. So something like Cindy or Fran or Murph or some of the more popular ones. That's the difference between mixed modal and CrossFit Feel. CrossFit Feel is a mixed modal workout, but the intensity level will be a little bit higher. This little subtle point of variance allows me as a programmer to control the amount of stress and tension we're putting on the body and the joints and really the mind as well. So that is why those 2 are there. Then you have Erg Focus. Erg Focus really allows us to build the base of our engine. That interval style training that focuses on aerobic capacity is what you can really look to see here. The major point on the Erg Focus days is that the vast majority of the time you're in here will be spent on the Erg. They will come with complementary movements from time to time, but the most time spent on those days will be on our ski erg, row erg, or our echo bikes. Core stability. Core stability is an add-on this cycle, really because it goes well with the front squat focus. It would have done well last cycle as well, but knowing that we had the open come in, coming up, I wanted to focus more on making sure we got more CrossFit field days so folks will be ready for the open. The core stability days, you can expect things like body weight holds, front rack holds, overhead holds, maybe some carries within our small station, maybe some cross body step ups, things like that, things that you've seen from us before, but really hyper focused on those days so we can build in some extra core awareness that will do us some good as we get deeper into the cycle and the loads go up in the front squat and full clean. And then we have the unilateral focus along with the landmine focus. Now, for those of you who have come to some of these landmine days, you'll recognize that those are largely unilateral movements as well, but very similar to the difference between mixed modal and CrossFit field. Here we have a difference in intensity. More often than not, the unilateral focus days allow for a bit more intensity than the landmine focus days for two major reasons. One, in a unilateral focus day, I can still bring in some of the other equipment like the row, ski, and bike because space allows for it. Primarily here, we're working with just kettlebells and dumbbells. We can kick the intensity up in those movements by adding load, by putting in a particular time domain focus, and then also by adding in the extra ergs. With the landmines, we can't really do that. The landmines take up a lot of space, and because we are still in these COVID protocols, you recognize we have our stations that we have to stick to. So when we have a barbell stuck on a landmine, we can't really do double unders. We can't bring in a row, ski, or bike. So although these days have their unilateral components to them, the intensity tends to be way down. So this just gives me another opportunity to build in more intensity when necessary in a cycle. And this allows me to pull it back down when we really just want to focus on learning these new landmine movements. So folks, I could talk to you all day about this, but this is how I go about putting together a particular cycle. I choose compound movements, and then I take these complementary focus points that force variance, but they also force us to stay consistent. Because here's the harsh truth, folks. You need to constantly vary your movements, your time domains, your intensities to keep yourself interested in fitness and to keep your body outside of a comfort zone. But within each cycle, we do need some form of linear progression, some form of undulating intensities and loads to make sure that you're seeing the growth that you're looking for. We can marry both, we do marry both, and any successful CrossFit gym is gonna do that. The major difference between Brazen Athletics and any other CrossFit facility that you could come into, other than the staff and the coaching and the care that we bring to the job, is how we mix and match and how we paint this picture of fitness for you. There are 10 components to fitness. It is my belief as the programmer here at Brazen that the best way to address all 10 of those components is by making sure that you focus on the complementary strength movements to set the stage, right? To frame the photo. And then we add color or we add flair with these complementary focuses that allow us to get a little bit deeper and a little bit more granular when it comes to your fitness. So, new cycle starts tomorrow, and I am really excited about getting back in here for a full cycle. I missed the entire last cycle for a good reason. But now I'm back, now we're back, and looking forward to a strong finish to this first macro cycle here in 2021.